So I would like to officially welcome all of you to the new member and first-time attendee orientation for the 2020 SHFM National Conference. My name is Damian Monticello. I'm the Senior Manager for Hospitality Services for GuideWell, which is Florida's Blue Cross and Blue Shield plan. And I'm also the SHFM incoming president. So it's my pleasure to welcome you all to your first SHFM event. And what we wanted to do today was really just kind of give you a brief overview of what SHFM is all about, who we are, what it is we do, and what you can do to get the most out of your membership. So SHFM is really, it's a family. You hear a lot of people say that about organizations they belong to, but we really are. And we operate under a mission statement and a vision statement. And those are up on the screen for you here. So our vision statement is to be the preeminent workplace hospitality industry experts, empowering diverse current and future leaders. And our mission statement that helps us support that is enhancing workplace hospitality and food service through collaboration, education, benchmarking, and innovation. And you'll see us really touch on a lot of those keywords in there, particularly the education, the benchmarking, the collaboration throughout all the events that you'll see, not only at National Conference, but everything that SHFM does. Tony, if you'd like to go on to the next slide, please. Thank you. So what really helps us establish who SHFM is, besides the mission and the vision, is our core values. And you see those here for you as well. Those core values for SHFM are valuing people, embracing passion, cultivating diverse leaders and membership, driving innovation, advancing knowledge, fostering leadership, and supporting our community. And community for us is the communities where we live and the communities in which we work, and our SHFM family. SHFM is actually launching a brand new strategic plan this year. And the strategic plan is what's going to help guide the society over the next several years. And it's made up of 4 key objectives. Those are membership, brand awareness, education, and diversity and inclusion. Now, who is SHFM? Well, our members handle a lot of different pieces of business, and they represent a lot of different segments of the business. You have client liaisons like myself, who manage food service programs on behalf of our companies. You have educators, food service contractors, integrated facility managers, self-operators, suppliers, students. So it's really a wide cross-section of the industry that makes up SHFM. And SHFM structure is brought together through our board, which is made up entirely of volunteers, the SHFM committees, our SHFM Foundation, which is our philanthropic arm, and our professional management company, which is FSA Management Group, which is based in Louisville, Kentucky. And just so you can put some faces and names together for who you will be seeing a lot over the next year, your incoming SHFM Executive Committee consists of myself. I will be president after conference is over next week. You have president-elect is Rob Gebhardt with JLL. Treasurer is Sharon Iliatombi from the World Bank Group. Janine Cosgrove Albert with At Your Service Staffing is the foundation chair. Raquel Weiss-Fusco from Elite Studio E is the senior supplier representative. And then our immediate past president is Rob Gordon with American Express. We do have several incoming board members as well. I know this slide might be a little small, but just to give you an idea of who some of those are. On the client liaison side, you have Sunita Devi, Adam Varney, Heather Leanna, Christine Mosley. From contractor side, you have Joe Gansey, Gary Crompton, Rick Postiglione. On the supplier side, RJ Bianculli, Bob Klockner, Eric Cooley, Jenna Calhoun, and then Joe Denistrian representing the integrated facility managers. So how do you get involved in SHFM? Easiest way to say it is to join a committee. There's committees out there that really do a lot of the groundwork for us. And the standing committees that we have are our membership committee. The membership committee is actually broken down into 3 subsets as well. We have our engagement subcommittee, which monitors and engages our existing members. We have a recruitment subcommittee, whose job is to go out and find new members, meetups in non-local cities, enhancing our presence within the business community. And they also do 2 different annual membership campaigns, providing ideas for opportunities to help us grow that membership. And then we also have our membership marketing subcommittee. This committee advises on initiatives and activities to help promote the value and benefits of SHFM, attracting new members, and also build current member awareness of the work that we're doing, as well as the work of our foundation. And they do this by being our social media ambassadors, working on various website projects, membership projects, and things like that. The full marketing membership committee serves as ambassadors for SHFM membership throughout their everyday business as well, and through their interaction with potential members. Your leaders for the membership marketing committee group this year, Amy Lewis with Kitchens to Go is the chair. Dennis Bell with Tyson Food Service is heading up the recruitment subcommittee. Amy Bendekovitz with Unidyne is heading up the engagement subcommittee. And Michael Moore with Restaurantware is heading up the membership marketing subcommittee. Another one of our committees is the SHFM Locals. This group brings people together throughout the country when we can't all always get together in one space. So we have local markets currently in Atlanta, Boston, Charlotte, Chicago, California, Florida, New York City, Texas in the Dallas area, and Washington, D.C. And we are constantly looking at establishing new markets. So if there's a group interested in creating an SHFM local event in a new area that isn't listed here, we are open to listening to what people have to say and where we might be able to make an impact. Bob Klockner with Vivero is the chair of the local committee. And then Heather Leanna with the International Monetary Fund is the liaison back to the board of directors. Our Diversity Council. The purpose of this committee that says here is to foster an environment that embraces diversity and inclusion at all levels within the markets that we serve. So when we speak about diversity, we talk about all aspects of diversity as well. So we're looking to not only broaden our diversity of our membership, but also broaden the diversity of the people who do business with us. Our goal is to assist, support, and encourage our members to better understand the importance of diversity and what it means to our organization and our industry as a whole. Sumi DeBenedettis with PepsiCo is our chair. Victoria Vega with Unidyne is the co-chair. And RJ Bianculli with Emerald Brands is the liaison to the board of directors. We also have our SHFM Rising Star program. The Rising Star program recognizes the importance of young professionals and the roles that they play in an organization's success and longevity. Our Rising Star program has been established to recognize and reward individuals in all levels of membership for their outstanding work. So this group welcomes all young professionals to contribute and be engaged in the future of our association. Danielle Pedersen with Vivero Advanced Water Systems is the chair, and Raquel Weiss-Fusco is the board liaison. We also have our foundation fundraising committee. This committee helps provide guidance and resources to the foundation board and help them to create fundraising activities for the initiatives that the foundation conducts. Janine Cosgrove Albert with At Your Service Staffing is not only the chair of the foundation itself, but chairs this committee as well. Then there's the SHFM Industry Advisory Board. So if you happen to be a member who is in the supplier side, the IAB is something you might want to look into as well. They help continue our philanthropic activities to reduce food insecurity. They support the membership at large with a lot of different resources and reach. For those of you who have signed up for Hunger Games, that's coming up here within conference. That's one of the big things that the IAB helps us with each year. And you'll get to see the impact that this group has made in addressing food insecurity over the years. And then we also have our event committees. So there's the National Conference Planning Committee. There's the Critical Issues Advisory Committee. Critical Issues takes place every spring. And we have our Young Professional Summit Advisory Committee, which helps plan the Young Professional Summit each year, which for 2021 is scheduled for in the summer. Again, volunteering is the best way that you can get the most out of your membership. If you're interested in volunteering for a committee, you can contact Tony Butler. Tony's email is here on the slide for you. Just send him a note, letting him know which committee you are interested in learning more about, and he will get back in touch with you with some additional information. And we would not be able to get any of this done if it wasn't for Tony and the SHFM staff. So just wanted to give a moment of recognition to the folks that make this all possible for us. Tony Butler, our executive director, Jessica Link, marketing and membership coordinator, Michelle Cassinger, finance and operations, Peg Plout with event services lead, Sarah Colsey and Julie Minnick, also representing event services, Michelle Romero with sponsorship and advertising sales, and then both Tony and Michelle also help us out with public relations. SHFM, as I mentioned before, does have a foundation, and the foundation is a nonprofit organization that supports higher education through scholarships and student outreach programs. The foundation is committed to continuing growth of our vital industry, which drives productivity and morale for millions of American workers every day. We offer scholarships to students that have gained acceptance into a full-time restaurant or food service or a hospitality-related post-secondary program. The foundation raises funds to be able to support these endeavors through a couple different events every year. There's the annual golf tournament. There is a summer or fall networking event, usually a larger gala type event. We have a silent auction, which typically would take place at an in-person national conference, and Student Day, which usually also takes place at national conference, where we get to bring in students from the area where we're having our conference that year, and expose them to the workplace hospitality industry. And that wraps up really a brief overview of who SHFM is. If there are any questions before we get breaking out into some more individual groups and some networking sessions, happy to open the floor up to those. You can put your questions in through the chat box, and we will take any questions that you might have. Thank you.
And Damian, this is Tony. We have a first question. We had a question that asked if you need to be a member to participate in the Rising Star program.
If you need to be a member to participate in Rising Stars. So you do need to be a member. There is an application process for the Rising Star program as well. Additionally, for Rising Star, it is an age-based program, so it is for our members up to age 39. And there are typically about 20 spots a year that come open in the Rising Star program. So you will see the call for nominations and for applications, I should say, for Rising Stars. Typically, those come out around which month, Tony?
Usually we do those in May generally. And one thing that I would say about being a member is that you don't necessarily have to be a member to be nominated as a Rising Star, but you have to be nominated by a member.
Correct. And then once, if you were selected, the expectation then is that you would be a member of SHFM in order to get the full benefit of being in the program.
So Damian, we have another question that's come in. Question about you personally, about your involvement in SHFM. You could give us just a little story about how you got started in SHFM and that landed you in the big chair.
Wow. Let's see if I can remember back that far. So actually, I came into this position with GuideWell, which was Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, is what we were being called back then, back in 2003.
Not very important.
And when I came into this role, it was my first time really being in workplace hospitality. So I was doing a lot of research trying to figure out what it was I had gotten myself into, and came across SHFM. I was looking for an industry association and came into SHFM as a member, attended my first national conference in 2004, and really liked what I saw, tried to figure out how I could get involved and how I might be able to get more out of it. And just through networking and making connections with folks, I was asked to be a part of the National Conference Planning Committee in 2010, which was the conference that was in Orlando. And that pretty much started the ball rolling there, just through my participation in that conference and the effort that we all put together to put on a great conference that year. An invitation came a couple years down the road to potentially serve on the board of directors, and which then led to where we are today. So I served on my 3-year term on the board, stepped away for a couple years. You know, the job that pays always comes first. Had some things I had to pay attention to with my own job, with some reorgs that we were doing, but never lost sight or connection with the friends and the colleagues that I had made through SHFM. And the call came again a couple years ago, asking if I would consider coming back to the board with an eye on potentially being part of the executive committee and becoming president. So you'll hear Rob Gordon talk about it a lot, about leaning in. And it's a very appropriate term. Hey, the more you lean into SHFM and the more you give to it, it's not an equal amount that you get back. You get back many times over what you put into it. But it's just taking that first step in getting involved and putting something into the organization that if you want to have a path that leads you into chairing a national conference planning committee or serving on the board of directors, the opportunities are there for just about everybody who wants to participate. If you put in the effort, we will notice you, and those chances will come your way.
So Damian, we have another question. Can you tell us a little bit about how the foundation and SHFM work together?
Sure. So the foundation is a nonprofit, as we mentioned before. So they are a 501c3 organization. So that gives them the ability to do some of this work that they're doing and also be able to be philanthropic for those of us that are making our donations, for those to be tax deductible donations as well. The foundation has their own strategic plan. They have their own operating budget, but they work hand in hand with SHFM and the SHFM board. And you see that through the chair of the foundation having a seat on the board as well. So we always want to keep connected to what each other are doing so they can help carry out that vision and that mission that SHFM has for how we can continue to grow our industry. You know, those of us that are in these spots and sitting in these chairs, we're not going to be here forever. And it's the people that are coming into this industry behind us that are going to continue on the work and continue making SHFM a fantastic organization. So if we don't expose those people to who we are and what we do through the things that the foundation does, then we're kind of depleting the pipeline on ourselves. So they play a very vital role, not only in giving of scholarships and grants, but they play a very vital role in the future success of SHFM as a whole.
Sure. And so there's a question that actually was directed to me, but I think you can answer that. Is the best way to get involved with SHFM to volunteer for one of these groups or committees?
Yeah, absolutely. Best way to get involved is to volunteer. I would say, if you don't sit on the sidelines and wait for someone to come to you and ask you to participate, be the one that's stepping forward and raising your hand and saying, hey, I want to do this. We're always on the lookout for people who want to be involved. So if you want to get a lot out of this organization, take that first step and be willing to put something into it.
So Damian, there's a question about being able to network during the virtual conference. Can you give some examples of how that could work for someone?
Well, we're going to do a little bit of it here in just a moment when we do go and break out into some individual breakout sessions, but also within the Pathwell platform, you can message any attendee that's listed in there. If there's someone that you want to connect with, just drop them a quick note, say hi. If there's a question you want to ask, I know I've received a few already through the platform today, just people saying that I haven't seen in the past year, saying hi, folks who wanted to congratulate me on my upcoming term as president. So you can reach out that way as well. There is going to be not only the breakout sessions in today's session, but there's also the industry networking event coming up as well, which will give us another opportunity to mix and mingle with people. It's definitely a little different this year than when we're in person, but I think the warmth and the willingness to connect with everybody that you feel from people with an SHFM, that's still going to come through, whether it's online or in person.